Welcome back. Let's talk about our next data type, and it's a big one, a very useful one. It's called a list. And list is an ordered sequence of objects that can be of any type. So you can think of them as strings, right? We had strings previously that we have learned about, except that each sequence of the string was a letter or number wrapped in a quotation marks. Lists, on the other hand, looks something like this. Let's say if we create a variable uh, li and a list, we denote that with a square brackets, and inside these square brackets we can have a different objects. So for example, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also have another kind, let's say another list li2, which is equal to, and it's going to be again the square brackets, and I will give this time a collection of items A, B, C, right? C. It can have any collection of items that we want. We can even mix and match and say that we have 1, 2, let me just take another list 3. We can say even a mixed collection like 1, 2, and A. And then we can also keep some boolean value that is which is called as true, right? So all of these are lists. Now lists are a very and extremely important, and in other programming languages you might have heard the word arrays. So in Python, lists are a form of arrays, and later on when we get into the module section of this course, we will talk about the difference between lists and arrays. But if you are coming from a different programming background, then lists are like arrays in your language, and it is a collection of items. Now, that neat thing about the list is that it's the first data structures that we are learning. Now, what is a data structure? What is data structure? Data structure is a very important concept in programming language. It's a way for us to organize information and data. Let's say a folder or a cupboard or a box, so that these data structures can be used with different pros and cons. For example, you have a fridge where you can store your food, and fridges are really good at putting your food inside and keeping it cold and then taking it out. Or you might have a backpack, and a backpack is really good to put your stuff everything in there. But when you're looking for things in a backpack, it's really hard, right? So now you can think of data structures similar to that. A container around your data that has different pros and cons of accepting the data and removing that data and writing that data. But that's something we will get into a little bit later. The key here is that the square brackets allow us to contain information and data like strings, integers, floats. So let's think of a good example here. What if we had a shopping cart? Let's say um, Amazon cart. And in here, we can collect different things that we want. Let me just put here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I don't know. Maybe we can also keep notebooks. And you know what? Let's put something like uh, notebooks and something like if we can keep some sunglasses, right? So we can keep some different items here, different strings in this cart, right? And now, just like we saw in strings, we can access Amazon cart in different ways. For example, I can access it with the something like print, and I can just take this variable. I can just put it here, and I just wanted to access what is there in the index 0. So if I just go and print here, I get a notebook, right? Now, if I wanted to get sunglasses, I can just put one index here and I will get sunglasses. So likewise, if I wanted to put a third item which is at index 2, what do you think you will get? You'll get an index error because there is no third item in the list. Well, you get an error called list index is out of range. But this should make sense now. This is a list where we are accessing the index of, but it only contains two items. So if you are going 0, 1 and third item, like we get nothing exists at the third item. So our program says that doesn't work actually. You are doing something wrong, and like it just says that there is something wrong in the list. And just like strings, these list items are in memory in the separate bookshelf, right? But one write one to each other, so we can go from a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, so on forth until the list ends. Like likewise, it just takes each and every item. All right, let's learn about list uh, a lot more in the next video. Right now, bye. We'll see you in the next video.